blacklisted by McLaren.
Dave's on the phone with McLaren right now, so we'll see what's going on with the 720.
All right, no, I get it. No, I get it. All right, thanks.
So,
hey, that was McLaren, and they can't fix the car.
What do you mean they can't fix
What's
it?
really concerning is, he's like, I want to talk about it in person. So I'm really worried right now that they blacklisted the car. So to bring it up to speed is, McLaren was crashed, you guys know that already. We had it all back together. We need to charge the suspension and some other issues to get dialed in. Only McLaren can do that. The challenge with that is, when you plug in a McLaren, it automatically dumps everything on your ECU to England. The dealership's an extension of the brand. They don't make the decisions, it has to go through them. They have to decide even to fix your car. There's no warranty. I'm talking about just being a customer. And basically he said, like, we can't do it, get down here, and he said, bring a trailer.
So come pick it up, but we can't fix it.
Allegedly. So I don't know. This could be the end of the 720. And that sounds dramatic, but like, what do you do with it? Turn into a race car? You can't even track that car. If we had to, and this is a really dumb thing to say, but I have to say it, could we convert that car to like a coilover suspension?
I'm sure we could. I mean, it's just, spending $20-something thousand on custom coilovers that will work well for the racetrack, but won't work well for the street, or will work well for the street, but not for the racetrack. That's the good thing about that 720 suspension, is that you can control the different modes for different driving styles and different surfaces.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Damon's not here. Damon's back in Canada, and I said, let me get the 720 dialed in. You saw in a few videos ago how happy he was driving that car. Like, it literally, his personality changed, shooting flames and all that. It's really disappointing that we have this happening right now. I honestly am at a loss for words as far as what to do next, because if McLaren won't do it, there's nobody else.
Well, I mean, we have to figure out what's going on first. All right. And then we have to break the news to Damon.
That's Tim's job.
Sounds like a good idea.
Man.
Okay, let's go. I have a flight at 1 o'clock. It's 11:30. We have to go all the way to McLaren, but I have to get to the airport, which means you're dropping me off with the truck and trailer at the airport. So good luck with that. We need to suck up a little bit. I have a costume for you to wear. We're gonna go there looking like the biggest McLaren enthusiasts in the world. What do you think? Will this help, do you think?
That's not bad. That's pretty good.
It's all right. I think if you walk in like this, to be like, you know what?
I'm here for my McLaren, sir.
Forget the rules. You guys can have whatever you want. We moved our fridge to the garage. It's very fitting. It's on like a fuel drum. I'm gonna go for today the tropical vibe, the sparkling starfruit pineapple edition. Now, Celsius isn't sponsoring today's video. They're sponsoring us, and we drink it every day. So cheers to that. If you haven't tried it, grab some Celsius. And while we're at it, pop by McLaren HQ and suck up for us a little bit, because doing what we want to do with these cars, we're gonna need manufacturers on our side, because it's gonna be so hard to get support, even the Ferrari.
That's really tough, especially with Ferrari, because they don't want you to do anything to those cars except for drive them as they were off the showroom floor.
McLaren's probably the easiest brand to deal with. They're newer, they're younger, and they're more advanced in their mindset around it. I'm not joking. What if we flew to Woking, England, wherever they are, and I met with them? Maybe there's a way.
I did say hi to Zach Brown at the Long Beach Grand Prix.
Did you really?
I don't think he's going to remember me, but I did say hi to him.
How would you say hi back?
Yeah.
How'd you say it?
I was pulling one of the NSXs off track as I was doing the pace car stuff and parking it, and he was coming in the golf cart, and I saw him and I didn't block him. I pulled over to the side, and I was like, come on through, Zach. And he rolled through in the golf cart. He's like, thank you.
Wow.
Champion.
Yeah.
Thanks, champ.
Did you recognize he's a champion?
Oh, he was like, dude, that guy driving that NSX, I want him on my F1 team. Lando Norris.
How many championships has he won under F1? Maybe you need us more than you need you, Zach. All right, guys, I have to thank our sponsor, Shipstation, and they've made our business so much more profitable and easy to manage. To demonstrate the old way of selling merch or product through e-commerce business, we have Tim. Right now, if I told Tim there's 5,000 orders I have to go today, a waybill, a pen, every single order tracked. What are you doing? You have to package them. Oh. So not only does he have to package each one by himself, then he has to ship them. Okay, write that customer's name and number down. Don't get it wrong. Piss off customers, less profits. Cool. Once that's done, you have to email the customer with their tracking number 5,000 times. It's impossible. If you want to grow a business, scale a business, achieve your dreams, buy a Lamborghini, whatever it is, you have to sell a lot of products to a lot of people. And to do that, you need scale. Shipstation makes it really, really easy because they've done the work for you. They've negotiated up to 84% off USPS and UPS rates. So you get the big savings when you're a little guy. Shipstation has a really easy to use dashboard, integrates everything into one place, and it automates the tasks normally you'd have to do manually. Shipstation already integrates with websites you're already using. eBay, Amazon, Etsy, it's already there, connected to, and it's seamless, like our friendship. Over 130,000 companies have already switched to Shipstation, and 98% of companies that try Shipstation for 1 year become customers for life. Doyle rules!
That sounds great, Dave, but I don't have $15 million to get started.
That's the good news, Tim. You don't need $15 million. Right now, because I love you guys, Shipstation's gonna hook you up with 60 days absolutely free. That's right, 2-month free trial. So what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description or go to shipstation.com/DDE. Get started. Shipstation makes it super easy to automate shipping tasks for orders from every marketplace in one dashboard. Print shipping labels, easily compare rates and delivery times to optimize every shipment. And with enterprise solutions that make warehouse optimization easy, Shipstation scales when you do. Spend more time growing your business when you automate shipping tasks with Shipstation. Thanks again to Shipstation for sponsoring today's video. Right now, click the link in the description and get 60 days absolutely free. No risk. What do you have to lose? That's shipstation.com/DDE. Once again, shipstation.com/DDE. Why are you yelling?
Oh, sorry.
Mike, you're married, so you know the situation. Nothing's worse than when someone calls saying, we need to talk later, right?
Yep.
And you're like, the whole day you're like, what is it? And all you think was all the bad stuff you've done. And it finally, one of those skeletons get out of the closet. So I get why they don't want to get to it on the phone, they want to have a conversation in person, but it's more stressful because you don't know what it is. I mean, we can assume it's a suspension, but maybe it's a bigger problem. Maybe the motor is broken. Maybe they found something else that we don't even know about right now. It is what it is. I'm stressed right now because I have a flight. I can't miss this flight. Damon had to leave a day early because there's no flights right now. Everyone's traveling. We don't have a private jet, believe it or not. And if I don't get home today, I'm not home till Monday. And we're back the following Friday. All these things happening. So we've got Protective Film Solutions having their big show. Slush Meets on Sunday. If you haven't yet, click the link in the description. Get tickets right now to Slush Meet. We'll be there with Essa and the crew and some cars on display. And then it's Monterey Car Week. The deadline for the 720 is Monterey Car Week, which is like 10 days from now. What I don't understand is Damon said he ordered a body for it. I don't know anything about it yet. Sometimes Damon messes with me a little bit, so I'm like, did he actually? If he didn't, I'm gonna try to borrow a body. It sounds really weird, but Alex Gintani has a 720 project, and I remember I was there a while ago, and he had a full body sitting in the corner. So I could borrow the rear end and then get it wrapped quickly. But it has to go back to Canada to get inspected. There's a lot of things that have to happen. So the cars are write-off, total loss. You guys down here do the same thing as we do in Canada, right? The car gets written off, you can rebuild it, whole co-part. Half the YouTubers do that now. In order for the car to get registered and insured, it has to go back to Canada, get inspected by the government to make sure it has the safety systems. They'll give me a piece of paper, I go to the registry, get it registered, get a plate, and then the car is good to go. All that has to happen in the next basically 13 days. Now it's doable. We have our own truck and trailer. We can send Carlos back to Canada to get it inspected, but all the safety issues in the car have to be fixed. The car has to be back together. It has to look like a car. You can't send it with half a body on it. So number one, borrow a body from Alex and Tony, call Carlos, get the car shipped to Canada, get it back here, wrap it, see if PFS can do that somehow, and then surprise Damon basically with the car being done. We know it drives. Damon drove it the last episode, but unfortunately that's only part of the equation. We look the part.
Yeah, we're ready.
Can't say no to us now.
I mean, I'm not really excited to go in here and figure out what's wrong with the car.
It sucks for Mike because he has to deal with this after. I'm gonna be like, oh, that sucks, can't fix it. Well, I got a flight. See you in a week. Actually, I like it almost with no rear end on it. It's already walking away. Your phone call is like when a wife calls and says we need to talk later. So
Yeah.
what, you couldn't fix it? What happened?
Well, we couldn't fix it. Couldn't replace the accumulators. There's an issue with the airbag situation with the seats. You've been blacklisted by McLaren and Lamborghini and Bugatti and Koenigsegg,
Oh, he's messing with
Tesla.
me. He's messing with me.
Wait, so
You messing with me so bad.
so you couldn't change the accumulators?
Couldn't change the accumulators, but it is possible to upgrade them at a later time to be able to put the new ones in and the hardware.
Okay, but is the suspension system charged? And
Suspension system's charged, bled, good to go.
Oh,
so what couldn't not be done?
To change over to the new accumulators for the car.
Okay, so everything's good to go, so we can basically put a body on this thing and then send it for inspection?
Inspection would be an issue because of the airbag light. So the airbag light, because of the seats that got swapped out, and then the vehicle lost power, your airbag light's gonna stay on.
This car came with the factory seats, and then Damon bought the Senna seats, and they don't have airbags in them. The stock ones did. So there's an airbag light. But the problem is that I never thought about this. This car has to go back. It's a write-off. This car's been completely written off. Has to go back for a government inspection. It's a safety inspection. So look at obviously brakes and tires, but an airbag light won't pass.
Oh, 100%. Especially after an accident, they're going to look at that first.
Yeah. And we can't code it to clear it because it is a safety
course.
part of the car, part of the supplemental restraint system with the seat belts, the airbags, the igniters, etc. So electrical tape.
If we had the stock seats, which I don't think we do, is the seats coded to the ECU?
Body control module.
Yeah, like if I bought
right?
random seats.
The whole car.
Really?
Yes. When we had swapped seats out of earlier cars, we would have to get with McLaren, and then they would have to give us the software to code them. And early on, it was a chore. Later on, they I think they built a database of all of this seat going in this car, that software. So if it's their seat and it's approved to go from car to car, they can give us the software.
But if it's not approved to run those seats in this car, then they won't do it. They won't touch it.
Yes.
Safety concerns.
Question is, and this is why I'm jumping in. Sorry to.
No worries.
No, please do.
Here, swap seats.
If we have seats. Oh no, you're the politician. I'm the politician. This guy's.
He's telling us the real deal. Yeah. He's like, well, pick up your car, take it out of here.
So that and is it far enough away from that when you start it up?
Yeah, fair.
I'm not.
Yeah, fair.
So if we have seats, will fit in this car and be programmed. Can I see if I can make a deal if we have those with you to solve that problem?
We don't have those seats though.
We don't have those
But
seats.
if we do,
Like new seats?
I have to look. I'll have Martin look in parts because there's a period of time I had 20 or 30 sets of seats.
Why?
Oh, for accidents, right? Because the airbags go off.
There were cars that people bought and want different seats, so we got them those seats. We had their takeoffs. There was early problems with McLaren building cars with the wrong seats, so we had swapped out seats. We've been slowly getting rid of them over the years, but as an alternative, let me talk to Martin, see what seats we have, then we can talk to McLaren and go, will it code to this car? It would have to be
all to McLaren.
Yes, because it would have to be a seat they are
We're wearing
okay
McLaren
with.
merch. Would they like us for this? They send a picture right now, just like this?
Oh yeah, they'll be like, oh, they got the F1 shirt on.
They must be huge fans.
So I can.
Oh, that's complicated. Here's a challenge.
I'm just trying to figure out how can we resolve your problem.
So I want to bring this car to Monterey.
Yes.
So it has to go back to Canada to get inspected.
Yeah.
We need to find
Oh, it's got to go to Canada. You got to find a
It has
body.
to go to Canada to get inspected.
Yeah.
A small light can create all this. So the suspension got done. We don't have the new accumulators, but it's rolling now. We have an airbag light that's going to prevent this car from meeting this deadline. And potentially, I mean, how much, if I had to buy brand new seats from the factory for this car, what would that cost? Approximately off the record, but being filmed.
15 grand a whack or something like that is what the seats are. But that's not, if I have takeoff seats, that's not what
There would be a discounted rate, but it would be
correct.
10 grand for a pair minimum.
Depending on the seat, it might not be that bad.
Do you have seats from a Buick Regal could throw in here for Damon?
David, what do you drive?
What do you drive, David?
Chevy Silverado.
Oh, well,
Infinity miles.
He pranked me. He called me and was like, "Can't fix the car, come get it." And I walked in and he told me I was blacklisted from every brand, including Saturn. You go. So we solved what we thought was a big problem, but now we have a much bigger problem. Like much bigger. Maybe it's a race car now. Maybe we don't insure it ever again. Maybe it just loses life at the track, quarter mile at a time. For that 10 seconds or less, Damon will be free. In this case, that 8 seconds or less,
I don't know. It's
hey,
gotta
if
be
you get to
pretty
8
quick.
seconds,
Just thinking
that's
hookup.
going to be a
this
blast.
thing has 1,300 horsepower to the wheels. It's fully built motor. I mean, it's fully stock and I want my warranty honored, please. All right.
Oh, that's David's job. David? He just wants to know what the warranty is good intel.
Half past yesterday.
You have a CPO on this car? You inspection for a CPO warranty?
crashed, tile. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, well, I have a flight in literally 35 minutes, so can you mind loading this car up and we'll take it back and then we'll figure out the seat thing?
And we'll do what we can to
Thank you, sir.
help solve the problem. If we can solve it, we'll do it.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Thanks, David.
Yeah, buddy.
Thanks for messing with me.
Yeah.
Thanks for the nerve. But do you have a
You
bill?
still gotta pay.
Do you have a bill?
Well, it's two bills. That's one bill. Here's another bill.
Don't show them.
Yeah.
Those two bills?
His name is Bill.
Oh.
I'm being a George.
Okay, I'm gonna pay the bill. You get to the car loaded.
Car's loaded on the trailer, strapped down, and I am done wearing this McLaren shirt. Time to come off, go back to the DDE shirt.
I didn't get the answers you were looking for. It didn't work.
We did not.
All right, paid the bill.
All right.
It actually it wasn't that much, surprisingly, for this car. So this bill was about $2,000 to do what they did. So right now, the whole build, I think we're about 13 grand. Damon ordered a body for it. He says it's more, I don't know, I'll have to get clarity on that. They checked there's no takeoff seats. We have to either find the stock seats, which I honestly think we sold them. Or gave them, I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you where they are. They're not in Damon's garage. They're not in my garage. They're not at the HQ.
Yep.
The challenge with that, he said, is, and this is off camera obviously, is like they have to approve a different VIN seat. So if they have takeoffs or someone has used seats, that's cool, but McLaren has to go in there in England and approve the seat for the car.
They have to allow the coding before
Right.
it can be sent.
And they might not. So the car's a total loss. When a car's a total loss, a lot of times manufacturers want nothing to do with it for support for that.
Yeah, because the manufacturer isn't the one that's approving the car to be road legal again. So someone could have a totally wrecked car that isn't put back together properly, and then McLaren goes and codes all that stuff out and says everything's okay, when in reality, it's not.
No.
I mean, I think we did a good job of putting this car back together and it's solid, but it's like, it's a lot of liability on their part.
The worst case scenario is we now have a track car, which is not what this car is for. Damon wants to drive this car. Well, ironically, it's a car week.
Yeah, we have a track car.
Yeah.
We're building an F12 track car.
Or we part it out, we buy another 720, pull the motor up, pull the stuff out, and just build a new car, and this car's garbage.
Yeah,
Sell
I mean,
it as a frame.
that's
It's
an
not worth anything.
expensive option. If we took everything off of this car and swapped it over to another chassis, well, I mean, we'd probably have to now sell all of those parts that we would take off the other car, right? Piece by piece, which would take forever, and you would get...
And to get a good deal on 720, it's going to be a write-off. It's the same issue again.
Yeah.
So we have to buy a clean title
clean
720.
title.
Yeah. Anyways, my flight literally leaves in 25 minutes, so we need to move. Who wants to call Damon?
Not me.
Only thing that's going to save this car right now is if I call Damon and ask him, do you know where the stock seats are? Hi.
What's up?
I have a really important question for you, and this is like not even joking right now. Do you know where the stock seats for the 720 are?
I think we sold them. Didn't we?
Let me explain to you how bad that is. And I had the whole, David was there, Bill was there. They can't turn off the airbag light. It's a safety issue. We swapped the seats with the Senna seats. Remember we did that?
Yeah, those are like real. Those are like real Senna.
We didn't grab the module from the stock seat.
Okay.
And McLaren can't code out the light. It's a safety issue. That
Didn't they do it before, or someone did it before for us?
they can do it. They had the tech there to talk to McLaren. Because the car is a write-off, it's been damaged, they're like, we can't touch the safety system. We won't.
Okay.
And now that that's been done, that's on the VIN number. So that story is done. The car is flagged the fact that it has been in an accident, there's a safety constraint. That car to get reinsured and registered has to go back to Canada and get inspected. It will not pass an inspection with an airbag light. Other option is we buy brand new seats from McLaren for $30,000 and then 1 year wait because they have to pull them from production. And then we have to request them to code the new seats to the car because, I don't know if you know this, the seats are coded to the body control unit. We can't go buy used seats and throw them in the car. The light won't go away and they can't code that.
Really?
So somebody in England, and this is 100%, this is what Bill came on and talked to us about out of nowhere. Somebody in England has to approve a seat change in a car. They can't do it until they have a new seat. So we have to roll the dice and buy a new seat from McLaren and have them code it to the ECU if they'll do it. So the good news is that, it's good news and bad news. They couldn't upgrade the accumulators.
Oh no.
And I'm not sure, we didn't really get into that. He says, we'll talk about that later. That's not your problem right now, because if you can't register this car, the car's useless. Like, you can't insure it, register it. It now becomes a part out. We basically strip it, take the motor out, find a clean chassis, the clean title, and swap it over. That's where we're at right now over in Airbag. We don't want this to be a race car. We have race cars. We want you to drive this car because you love this car and take it to fans, drive it on rallies and whatnot. So that's what I'm trying to figure out right now. The trick to all this is, who bought the seats? Can we buy them back? I don't remember even selling the seats or even giving them away. I don't remember any of that when we did that. That was like 3 years ago.
Uncle Raymond sold the seats because he wholesales parts, and he has a whole department that does that. So when we had our storage unit down in Richmond during COVID, when we were building cars and we were taking parts off cars and we needed it, he was like, where do you want me to put all these parts? You know, like the stock CGT exhaust and all that stuff that we were doing. Remember, we got that storage unit and it started to get really full. And then at one point he was like, you know, your storage unit's almost too full. We can't put anything in here. Plus, we had tires going in there. So I said, well, we're never going to need the seats again. Like, they're never going to go back in the car. We got a set of seats, along with a whole bunch of other stuff. So he was like, you want me to just list it and sell it? So he was listing stuff and selling it for us. And then that's when we got some of that money back to pay for some of the other things we were doing. So that's who sold it, not us.
I need to get a hold of Raymond, see if he can find out who bought them, and can we get them back? That's our only option other than waiting a year for new seats and then begging McLaren to approve the switchover. I even wore the hat, dude, it didn't help.
You do have the hat on, the F1 hat.
And I'm literally right now, my flight boards in 15 minutes. I'm with the car right now. Like, there's a 720 back there. We have the car, we're going to the airport with the 720 right now to drop me off.
The bigger issue is we need this car for car week.
Well, we have 14 days to find the seats, get it inspected, get it back, find a body to borrow. If we can find the seats, I'm pretty sure we can make that happen. We have to find the seats. That's like the $1 million challenge right now.
The hunt starts now, and we got T-minus 14 days to make it happen.
Okay, I'm gonna call Raymond.
Okay.
Love you.
Love you too. Oh, bye.
We know where the seats went. Now the challenge is getting a hold of Raymond and seeing if he knows who bought them. I did not expect today the challenge to be the seats and an airbag light. I thought it'd be the suspension. My flight boards in like 22 minutes. I missed my baggage check deadline, so I'm carrying on. The last time I did that, I lost my bag, which sucks. Thanks, Mike. All right. We are doing two things at once. I am rushing for my flight. We also have to call Uncle Raymond and track down the seats.
And this is your bag. This is your bag, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna put the priority and your final destination.
Kelowna. That's where my fiance lives because I'm getting married once again.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Why once again?
Lucky number 3.
This is your boarding pass and your bag tag. I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
put at the back of your boarding pass,
Thank
and
you.
you're set to go. Sorry about that, sir.
No problem.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Thank you. We gotta run. Oh, Raymond, how are you?
David, Daily Doing Exotics.
That's right, you guys. Raymond back in the vlog from SR Auto Group.
Yep.
So we have a what sounds like a small issue, but a really big issue with the 720. It has a. Can we talk about that? An airbag light. We need the factory seats to pass the inspection. You sold them or did you keep them?
I kind of sold back.
Do you know who bought them?
It went out of the country. Kind of went to China, buddy.
Is there any way we can get them back? Can we buy them back, make an offer, whatever it takes?
So you want me to call a guy in Asia and say, hey, you want to buy our McLaren seats?
Yes, I do. I need to. Or else the car won't get inspection. And it's $500,000 paperweight.
That's facts.
Well, I can try, but I don't know if I can do it.
Okay, well, I have to catch a flight. Please make some phone calls. I'll hit you up later.
How much time do I have?
Like 4 days. It has to be at car week, that car. It has to get back to Canada, get inspected in time for car week.
We gotta find it, ship it, get it in the car,
Yes.
and get it for Yeah, good luck with that.
Okay, hit them up. Let me know I love you. I have to get my flight boarding. Raymond said that he listed the 720 seats and they sold a few months ago, and the buyer's in China. So I asked him, I need you to get them back. So he has to call someone who bought the seats in China, have them shipped back, which might be possible. It probably costs us a lot more money. I don't know what we got for the seats. The problem now is timeline, because to get them back from China, air freight, what I could do is have the car put back together, ship it to Vancouver, have the seats air freighted over, get the car inspected, and ship it back. Because we have our own transport, we have Carlos, and we have the truck and trailer. So with playing through my head, it's probably gonna eat up a lot of our budget. I bet you this is a $20,000 problem. But buying seats from McLaren, there's no guarantee, and that's $30,000. My plane is literally boarding. Thank you guys for watching. I might go over some stuff. And really, for the audience, make a list of what's been done, how much we spend, and what's left to get done. And I'll see you guys next time.
Back at the HQ, we got the 720 GTR unloaded and in the shop. Now I've got a long list of parts that I need to source and order for this thing, but the biggest issue right now are the seats. Without the factory seats that were in this car originally when they purchased this car, we may be in trouble. So at McLaren, they basically told us they need to put the original seats back in the car for that airbag light to go off. McLaren will not do the coding for us to code out the factory seats so that we can run these Senna seats. They said it's too big of a liability, they're not allowed to do it. When we started doing this project and we got that rear suspension for $8,000, I thought we were looking really good as far as budget goes. We were gonna be way under budget, and this could actually turn out to be not such a bad thing after all that the car got wrecked. But $2,000 on a radiator and fluids and stuff like that. Just ordered a taillight, spent $1,000 on that. Everything was looking really good until Damon told me that he put a deposit down on a body kit. Deposit he put down on the body kit was $90,000. That was all the budget that was left, plus some. And that's a deposit. I don't know if that's 90% of the deposit and he owes 10 grand on it, or if that's half the deposit and he owes another $90,000. Either way, this thing is looking like it's going to be way, way over budget from what we had originally planned and what our actual budget was. So I know I need to source a lot of parts. I know that I need the radiator duct for the other side. I need the bracketry that holds the radiator because they were all damaged, they were bent up. We hammered them into shape, just basically enough to get the radiator to mount in the car so we can make sure everything works, but those do need to be replaced. We also need this bracket here that mounts the bodywork, and this piece is actually bonded to the carbon fiber chassis. We do have this part off of the other fender, but it is pretty mangled. I'm not sure if we can source another one. If we have to, we can hammer that back into shape and get it glued back onto the chassis. We also need the other inlet tube, so hopefully that will come in time. There's so many pieces. There's the bracket here that I believe is a taillight bracket and bodywork bracket. We need that. We need the ECU mount box for the other side because that thing is very beat up. We have a broken mount on the other side of the wing. That needs to either be repaired or purchased. I'm not sure if I can weld that. It's cast aluminum and it's close to all of this hydraulic units and hinges. If it warps at all, it's probably not going to work properly. There's just so many little pieces that I'm not sure of where they all go and even what they all are because half of them were damaged and ripped off of the car and we didn't even get back. They probably got swept onto the side of the road and picked up by a truck. It's tough. There are not many pictures of cars taken apart this much or anybody filming the process of removing it that I can see all of the parts. So I've got a lot of research ahead of me that I can't spend much time on because we need to get these parts very soon. I think we had, what do we have, Mark? 10 days, 12 days, basically before the car has to be put back together?
Very little time.
Very, very stressful. We need the seats. We need it to get coated. We need the car to have bodywork on it and all the brackets to be in there. Then the car has to go back to Canada and be basically approved by the government saying that this car is road legal and worthy. And then they have to go through the process of re-registering it and re-insuring it and then bring the car back down here in time for car week. Tim, are you ready to work, well, 24 hours a day for the next 10 days? Tim was pulling the coolant tank cap off and it made a big gurgling sound and that sounds like it is very, very low on coolant. Is there anything in there? No. When we started it up and pulled it off the trailer, we saw some more white smoke, which is water. I'm getting a little bit nervous about this thing. There's a lot of questions that are up in the air. The seats, that's huge. What is the actual budget for this car? Are we gonna be close or are we gonna be way over? We don't know yet. I've got to talk to Damon about that, the pricing on the body kit, when the body kit's gonna show up. I need all these brackets, I need all these parts. I'm gonna jump on my computer right now and just start sourcing all this stuff because we do not have a lot of time to get this thing back together.